Hey everybody, so I just wanted to give you a quick overview. I got Krang in here in this little feeding station here today. Looks like a bit of a mess, but basically Krang's wen has grown mostly over his eyes and he's been struggling to get fed in the pond the last couple of days. So I want to grow him on, get him really nice and healthy, and you can see here all this food knocking about. Really easy for him to get. So he's in here having a feed now at the moment, having a bit of a feast. It looks real cloudy. That's baby brine shrimp. So even if he found it difficult to get the little bits of food, he'd just be sucking that in, siphoning it in anyway. And the other stuff he has in there is bloodworm, and he also has some really nice food. So you can see these guys here. These guys are having a really easy time of it getting food. They're just flying around the place having a great time. And at the moment the pond is actually quite warm. And this is double insulated. I have a 200-watt heater in it. It's about 1,000 liters, and you can see here even with the actual heaters at 18 degrees, this is pumping out 20 degrees at the top levels. And I've got some some modifications I've done on the pond that's going to help, you know, get that nice warm water all the way around it. You can see the heaters there at the back. There's a 300-watt in behind the 200. I have it as a backup. I had it in and it actually was getting the pond too warm. I had the pond up to 24 degrees very quickly, which is too much. These guys don't need that. 20 is absolutely fantastic. 18 is fine. 20 is super. But basically, Krang, along with the rest of them, needs lots of food when the water's warm like this, and he wasn't getting it. So what I've done is I've put this little setup here now, where I done it last night as well. He went in. He's got big chunks of live bloodworm. He's got his baby brine shrimp. He's got his couple of different types of food, and I'll be using this. This is the new outlet that I've created as an overflow and kind of a siphon as well. You see a little bit of a net in it. That goes down. I have to get some actual piping from the hardware. Couldn't get any over the weekend, but that's going to go straight down the drain. And I'm also going to put together a little bit of a setup so that I can use it to water all my plants as well, because I don't want to be wasting the water. And I also, what I've done is I've created this little outlet that is attached to the pump, and that's just got some water coming out here as well, because this pump, it actually has two outlets, and you can change this using the valve on it to decide how much water is going to go through which one. So the one going out the top goes into the filter box. This one is coming out here. It's running along the front edge, and you can see here it's creating some lovely water movement all the way around the top of the pond. We've got minnows and stuff in here. I think I'd like to put in a couple of rainbow shiners. Some beautiful fish. They really appreciate some surface current, and I can turn it up to the absolute max as well. Really important, because you seen that siphon valve there just a moment ago. Well, when I've got that on the go and I'm doing a big water change, I don't want chlorinated water going up into the filter box, so I can really reduce that down to a trickle. You can see here the water's still coming through, but just really slowly. So I don't want like freshly chlorinated water going on. And see this guy here, this is super. I have this just left up here at the moment, but I can attach that to the top of that siphon as well. That actually fits in there when I take that lid off. It's got loads of kind of areas there where kind of bigger pieces of dirt can come out, so I can use that as a really nice skimmer as well, surface skimmer for the top of the tank, which is awesome. So just leave that up there for now. And you can see here all my plants, they're coming along, growing along, but you can see the water's just trickling out there now at the moment. So none of the good bacteria in the filter are going to die off, but we have some awesome movement around the pond itself, and it's a super way of just making sure that, you know, I'm not going to poison my filter with chlorinated water coming out of the pond, because I would like to get an RO system set up. Now you can see here some of the water was trickling down and it was tracking along the grain of the wood and dripping down. I've got it mostly sorted, but there's one little area left that I need to get done. I'm out of sealant. I need to go and pick some up in the hardware. But I created a little bit of a kind of a wall either side with the sealant, just to make sure that it's flowing properly. So I'm not going to leave this like this. I'm going to just get my filter set back up again so that the water is running out of it nicely. Because the other thing that my filter's doing is it's providing tons of the aeration for the pond. So you can see here as the water's coming down, this water level is going to increase as the filter box fills back up, and that filter box is just filled with all that good bacteria, doing all the filtration. So on top of the really regular water change that these guys are getting, everything's being filtered out by all that bacteria and the stones in that filter box. And you can see here's the water's just cascading over the top of it now. It just provides tons of awesome aeration, which is really, really cool. As it's going back in, fish are loving the current as well, having a great time. The micro bubbles all around the pond, it's really, really good. Fish are absolutely loving it. And like, all the fish love the current. All these goldfish, even the ones that would be weak swimmers, love the current. And this bit of an outlet here, it's providing a cool area just for, I've seen the minnows swimming up in front of it and darting along and loving it. Now Krang, he doesn't seem to mind the current. He swims around it and has a great time. But the problem is, it's just that bit of finding food. So I can see here, he's just kind of chilled out a little bit. I'm going to get a little bit of water back in on the go here. Get some nice, clean, fresh aerated water, because he's been sitting in this for a few minutes. Just so you can get him moving again. Get him to get a little bit more food in before I put him back into the pond with the rest of them. And the good thing is, all this bit of leftover food, baby brine, shrimp, minnows and all have a great time. There could potentially still be quite a bit of goldfish fry in the pond. Could be. There, you know, I managed to get one out of a marble moss ball really randomly just the other day. So that's all going to go into the pond now. All the food that Krang doesn't get, these guys will be working away and munching away, having a great time. And look, waterproof foam, might as well put it in, have a bit of a look, show you some of these guys. That's Fionnuala there on the left. She is probably one of the most inquisitive fish. These are one of the two new regular body goldfish, and I love this fish. B for beautiful. Look at her, she's absolutely gorgeous. She's a stunner. She's grown really, really well here, I have to say. Just took a huge growth leap into the pond. And this is Felix. Felix is absolutely stunning, but you can see the ends of her fins are a bit frayed. She got a bit of hardship off the lads when she was egged up the last time, and her eggs kind of impacted a little bit, but we got her sorted. Here's the minnows. We've got 5 minnows now at the moment. Want to get some more minnows on the go. Gonna get a load more, and like I said, I might get a couple of rainbow shiners. If you like rainbow shiners, let me know what you think. And I haven't actually kept them before. I wasn't able to get them previously, but now I have somewhere that can get them and a decent size. They live for about 2 years, nice fish. But yeah, a couple of the guys here, that is one of the potential dads, definitely, because he was giving the mother a bit of a hard time. There's that fish, look at his fins, that redtail scoop, like a redtail shark. That's Pearl. Pearl is absolutely fantastic. Another fish that's just doing so well in the pond. Really well, coming on great. And you know, with the warm water, all these guys are going to be perfect over the winter as well. So these guys are the big ones. That guy there could potentially be one of the fathers as well, of the fry that I have. And I'll post some links to those videos. And this lady here is the queen. Look at her, she's like an angel. Ah, look at her in the light, she's stunning. She is the mother of all the babies, so she's the one who had all the eggs. And yeah, bunch of potential dads. Really excited. I love this fish. Just love the clarity on that silver on his back, that stripe. It's really nice. Love it. There's Fionnuala again. And again, look, fish that you wouldn't consider to be like really strong swimmers. Absolutely loving the current. They'll go in, they'll play in it, they'll have a great time. And yeah, just feeling good, using up some energy. Like, I mean, if you have these in a bowl, they don't get to swim properly, or a little tank, you know, whereas these guys, look, exploring everything, going in underneath the archer and everything. And I was going to take that out, but you know, it's nice to be able to move that lily around, so it's pretty handy. But the fish seem to enjoy swimming around and swimming through it. So there's Felix again, and the mother, the big panda Oranda there, absolute beauty in the background. Those marble moss balls are actually huge now. They are massive. I move them around a little bit every couple of days, just to while I'm stirring up the sediment at the bottom, and it just helps keep them around as well, because if you leave them on one side, they'll you know, the sun on the top will get them, but the underside will die. So I think it's time to let Krang back in. He seems to have gotten, I can see off the bottom, it's kind of probably hard for you to see, but he's got most of the sunken food that was at the bottom. I just left some floating food just in case he was going to try get some off the top. But look, that's going to go in now. These guys are going to have an absolute feeding frenzy. Minnows are going to go crazy for all these baby brine shrimp. And I'll do a big water change now after this and just clear them all out. So we get Krang back in. Let's have a little look, see how he's getting on, because he seems to be in good form there now. The last kind of 24 hours since I started getting this food back in on board, straight into the current. Having a great time. Looking good, and you can see that wing growth. Oh my god, it's so good. So that's it, guys. Quick video, some mods, some updates, see how Krang's getting on. And check me out, check out Greg Dorney on Instagram. That's where I have all my most regular post updates. And say goodbye to Krang, but we'll talk to you later. Take it easy, everybody. Bye.